Hey everyone, my name is Ernie, and this is my introduction video. I've been playing the drums for over 30 years. I've been with Mike's lessons for 8 to 10 months. Prior to that, I took a year of lessons when I was a kid. My mom made me before I could have a drum kit. I don't remember any of it, um, so I don't really consider that part of my drum education. I consider myself self-taught, mainly from playing along the records. Um, I've been a metalhead my whole life. Went to an Iron Maiden concert when I was 9. So it's all metal, thrash, punk, eventually more challenging stuff, post rock and math rock, if anybody knows what any of that is. Being a metal guy, I'm super loud. Everyone hates it. My gear hates it. My hands hate it. But, that's what I do. A few years ago, I decided to turn one of my drum kits into kind of a jazzier setup, so thinner heads, wide open tuning, so they don't really take to being pounded to oblivion. So I've been working on volume and nuance, ghost notes, being able to do singles at a low volume. Like I can do singles really fast, full tilt. Um, Jazz level, they just fall apart at over 100 BPM, if that. I don't ever clock them actually. After kind of sitting behind the jazz kit for a while, I started getting into jazz and jazz drumming and decided I would finally demystify it. I've never understood what a jazz drummer is doing because you're not hearing kick snare like you do in rock. So I got John Riley's Art of Bop and immediately realized that I don't know how to read music. I can't look at these charts and know what any of this means. So that coupled with the Mike and Mike podcast kind of drove me to want to learn more about the instrument that I've been playing for 3 decades and apparently have never taken the time to learn anything about. Looking back, it's hard to even figure out how I got as far as I have. I've watched Mike's videos for a long time, but prior to joining the site, I never actually applied any of it to a kid or tried to do any of the things he was trying to teach. I just thought they were fun to watch and inspirational, and then I'd go home and bang out a bunch of punk rock tunes or whatever. I never tried to learn licks. I never talked with drum friends and tried to do stuff that they could do that I couldn't. So it's really kind of baffling. Um, I think the musician in me just always sought challenging music to listen to, and that kind of gave me an education. In the 90s, getting into Primus taught me a lot. I mean, Tim Alexander is probably the single largest influence on my drumming, actually, easily. Hope he never sees me play the drums because he'll probably slap me for ripping him off. Um, from there, bands like Don Caballero and Hella just have so much built into them that you can extract things from them that are, real lessons. Like emulating Zach Hill, I was learning paradiddles and without even knowing it. And somebody saw me doing it. It's like, oh, that's a sweet paradiddle groove. I didn't even know what a paradiddle was. Prior to Mike's 10 days to faster hands, I'd never even done a rudiment or really knew what they were. See what I mean? It's weird. Like I've played the drums for so long, I didn't even bother to try. I don't know. It's my own psycho analysis of myself, I guess. Also kind of self-deprecating if you don't get that. As far as what I'm currently working on, I would say mainly ghost notes, left hand and right. Right's horrible. And the Samba Ostinato course, just to get some independence. And also just practicing. Not practicing my whole life is a hard habit to break. So it's hard to just keep at something for me. To get motivated to sit down and work through something that you suck at. It's really hard for me. I play guitar and I play bass and I record and write my own music. So there's times where I just don't even play the drums for weeks or maybe months while I'm working on something. That process and that zone I have to be in to kind of get that stuff done is temperamental and fleeting. So I try and keep a hold of it and try not get distracted by learning some cool drum thing. But yeah, aside from that, I guess I'll show you my gear and look forward to seeing everybody's videos. See you soon. So this is what I call the Jazz Kit. It's a all maple Pacific that I sanded down to bare wood and refinished myself. And then this is the Rock Kit. It's a pork pie little squealer. It's mahogany and birch. And right now I have this OCDP snare with this awesome Evans hybrid that I put on there just so I can beat the crap out of it and not worry about it breaking. Because they last forever. That's probably 2 years old, and it has seen some abuse, and it just keeps on going. These are my extra snares: Mapex Phosphor Bronze, some random Tama 13x7, Ludwig Acrolite, and the snare from the Pork Pie Little Squealer kit. I also have a bunch of hi-hats down here because I can't find a hi-hat sound that I like. Here's all the mic pre's and outboard equipment for recording. They're all super cheap. Nothing too expensive. I don't even use like the compressor or any of that anymore. All the plugins do a fine job. There's kind of the workstation. Another no effects, kind of like them. And then my heavy guitar rig. This is a Carvin V3 and my baritone Telecaster. And this is a Fender Blues Deluxe Tweed. It's only 40 watts, but very loud and is useful for all kinds of different stuff. I have other guitars, but they're tucked away. I don't think anybody's really that interested in seeing all that. Just message me if you are, and I'll give you more of a show. But until then, we'll talk to you guys later.